And what angers me this morning is that Brandon Knight is being shamed and ridiculed for doing exactly what he was supposed to do on said dunk. Greg Monroe, his center, his teammate, loses DeAndre Jordan running down the lane. So Brandon Knight says, you know what? I'm supposed to leave my man and come over and provide weak side help defense. I'm going to take one for the team. And here's what also angers me, Tim, about the Clippers. They get away, Blake Griffin and DeAndre especially, with so many lead with the left dunks. And I get sick and tired of it. To me personally, that's an offensive foul. I thought DeAndre led with his left forearm, elbow up. And just me, I would have called an offensive foul on it because I get sick and tired of seeing them get away with that. Of course, if I had called the offensive foul, I would have probably needed police protection to get out of Staples. And then, as the referee, I would have been shamed and ridiculed all day long in the sports media for taking that position of an offensive foul. But to me, Brandon Knight goes straight up, and he gets knocked down not by the dunk, but by the leading left forearm. To me, by the letter of the law, I'm saying that's an offensive foul. So all things considered, I'll give it a 6 on a scale of 10, and I think I'm much closer than most people are on this.
Okay, so Skip, you say 6, Leg says 10. Let's bring in Stephen A. Smith. I mean, how impressed were you? On a scale of 1 to 10, you see Skip went all the way to 6. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, that's Skip nature. Well, first of all, he's a contrarian. Secondly, he's the artist. He's just a master of pessimism. I would tell you that I would give it an 8. I wouldn't give it a 10 because it was against Brandon Knight, a guy that's almost a foot shorter than him, for crying out loud. But the length, the elevation on the dunk, the amount of length he was away from the rim, to time it the way that he did, to just, when you look at it in slow motion, the way he contorted his body and just measured it and yammed it home the way that he did. And then to see Lamar Odom's reaction, to see Chris Paul's reaction, to see the reaction of his teammates, his players, all of that stuff. I mean, I think it resonates profoundly, and you've got to give credit where credit is due. It's not like DeAndre Jordan can't dunk. It's not like he doesn't have elevation when he's dunking. It's not like he's not an incredible athlete. His biggest problem is his free throw shooting. Dunking is not his problem. I've often said they're the greatest show since Showtime. And when I talk about dunking, you notice I never just say Blake Griffin. I always throw DeAndre Jordan into the equation, because what he did, he does against anybody. Anybody that's in his face, he'll dunk it on anybody. It's just that poor little Brandon Knight was in his path this particular game last night. But I'd give it an 8 because even though it was against a smaller guy, the elevation, the pose, the contorting of the body, the whole bit, it was just beautiful to see. But I can't give it higher than an 8 because it was on the miniature Brandon Knight as opposed to a Tim Duncan, a Dwight Howard, or somebody like that.